Madam Speaker, I rise today in strong support of H.R. 8873, the Presidential Election Reform Act. This bipartisan bill is a product of over 2 years of work. The first on the Committee of House Administration and subsequently on the January 6th Select Committee. Working in partnership with Representative Liz Cheney, this has included, we had extensive consultation with bipartisan law professors, former judges, and other experts. We have engaged in a fulsome, thoughtful, nonpartisan process, and where Ms. Cheney and I didn't always agree, we compromised in the great tradition of the legislative process. I want to thank my friend, colleague, and the vice chair of the January 6th Select Committee, Liz Cheney. Her partnership, leadership, intelligence, and frankly her courage have been invaluable to the Select Committee's work and to the development of this bill. I want to be very clear. In revising the Electoral Count Act and related laws, that no way condones the actions of the ex-president and his allies. Indeed, Dr. John Eastman openly admitted that his plan violated the Electoral Count Act. President Trump was told the same. But this bill will make it harder to convince people that they have the right to overthrow the election. Here's a few things the bill does. First, this bill reaffirms that the Vice President's authority at the electoral count is ministerial. The Vice President's authority has always been ministerial and always will be ministerial. But as we saw in 2020, ex-President Trump and his allies sought to unlawfully exploit the ECA to suggest otherwise. The bill will also enact new electoral counting rules for Congress. Previously, just a few members of each House were able to derail the proceedings with frivolous objections. That will no longer be the case. Under this bill, no objection will be heard unless 1/3 of each House supports it. And the only objections that will be permitted are those that are rooted in the Constitution itself, a narrow set of issues. The bill also prevents state and local election subversion. For example, governors will be required to submit their state's lawful certificate of appointment, and federal courts will be empowered to force them to do so if they refuse. Ultimately, this bill is about protecting the will of the American voters, which is a principle that is beyond partisanship. The bottom line is this: if you want to object to the vote, you better have your colleagues and the Constitution on your side. Don't try to overturn our democracy, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlewoman reserved.